One of my favorite stories that you write about, you get an email from Jane Fonda, and the email says, "Hi, Chelsea. It's Jane. I was wondering if you could come over to my house for dinner. I'd like to talk to you about a couple things." When you got that email, how did you feel? And then I'd love for you to set the context and tell us what happened.
Well, I got the email and I knew right away because we're women and we know exactly instinctively when something's off or if there's a vibe. And I knew just from the tone of that email, like I was being summoned. Like, and then I wrote back, "Of course, I'll come to dinner any night." And then she wrote back, "How about tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh, tonight? What does that mean?" And I called my best friend. I'm like, "Jane Fonda wants me to come over." And she's like, "What do you think this is about?" I'm like, I don't know, but I don't know, but I don't have a good feeling. She started the meal by telling me, she goes, "You may have noticed I was a little chilly towards you at this John Lewis fundraiser we were at." She said, "You were awful. You were awful to people. You were obnoxious. You were in a terrible mood. You had a dark, dark cloud like hanging around you. I don't know what drugs you were on." And quite frankly, neither did I, because I was like, "Wait, hold on a second. What party?" And then I kind of vaguely remembered the party. And just in that moment, I knew, don't defend yourself
Yeah.
right now. I'd started therapy at that time in my life, just weeks prior. I had started, and thank God, because one of the first things I learned was don't defend yourself. Like, if you're defending yourself, then you're admitting that something's wrong. If you don't have to defend yourself, then you don't have to. And I said, "I'm so sorry. I'm so grateful that you've taken the time to sit down with me and say this to me, because that in and of itself is such a demonstration of sisterhood. Like, that is the definition of sisterhood, is to tell somebody the truth when it's inconvenient for you to do so, and to be a sister." And in that moment, it was such a light bulb went on about the type of woman that I wanted to be, and a reminder that I had gotten off track.
Hmm.
And she was the type of woman, and is always. She's somebody I admire more than probably anybody in my life, Jane. She demonstrated to me exactly the type of woman that I wanted to become. Somebody who was going to tell the truth when it's inconvenient. She could have just avoided me for the rest of her life, and just never said anything. I said to her, "You're never going to have to speak to me again about any bad behavior. Like this, the first time will be the last time." And that's how I feel about big mistakes. You make the first time the last time. And that's a Maria Shriver quote. I don't want to learn the lessons twice and three times. I want to learn the new lessons.